Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Neo Shifters set released in 2008, and it's going to be Kero Tox. There we go. So for those who do not know this sim, well, it's a sci-fi universe in which two sides of robots are fighting each other for some water, because yes, water is rare in their universe. So the two sides are called the Paladin for the good guys and the Templar side for the bad guys. And here, as you can see, I'm going to review Kero Tox, which is one of the bad guys, so one of the Templar, and it's written right there with the Templar logo, which is a nice touch and gives the box a nice design. So you can see Kero Tox right there, up there the Neo Shifters logo, and here the transform things, because yes, one of the main aspects of the Neo Shifters, which is a theme which appeared in 2007, is that they can transform into a ball. Yes. So well, we're gonna see that of course in the review, even if you see that I have some problems with my figures, but well, that just you will see that later on. On the side, you can see the statistic point of Kero Tox. So, for example, is force, agility, speed, and stuff like that. The logo right there. Then on the back, quite the same picture, but with some things stretched out. So, for example, the wings, the lights, and his weapons. And once again, the transformation into a ball. That said, let's now move on to the instruction booklet, which features the code for Flash webcam. Personally, I did not play it, so I can't really talk about it. Then you got the description of Kero Tox, so what is status, what he's doing in the Templar side, which is quite interesting. Then you're going to have some description for his weapons and wings, the stat points right there, and also some scale pictures, so to show you all the height of this guy, and in comparison with the height of a human and stuff like that. Of a human and yeah, stuff like that. Then you got the parts list and instructions, plus some page dedicated to the to transform the guy. Then you're going to have a little ad for the only playset in the Neo Shifters universe called the Hydrax Energy Base. Then some ads for the different web flash games, you can see, like 4 of them. Some stuff not really interesting. And then the same thing as the back of the box, but with some ads for the other Neo Shifters released in this 4th wave. So the 3 Paladin guys and the 3 Templar guys, plus 2 little vehicles, but which were released before. So for those who want to know, I have already reviewed this set called the Dunskiff Shifter, and also this guy called Sentaita. But now let's move on to reviewing Kero Tox. So first, excuse me, I need to find the little guy first. Okay, which was just there. Oh yes, excuse me. So I should have untransformed him before the review. Excuse me for that, guys. So you can see his color scheme is mostly light red and silver. Right there, so it's like a Neo Shifters minifig. In fact, it's either called Neo or Shifters. I don't really know, but the fact is that the robots are in fact a combo between 2 robots to form a big one. So, well, you have the little one with a nice head, nice print also on the legs, and you will see that it got also some nice articulations, because, well, it got a ball joint first on the head, then on the shoulders, which is quite cool, an articulation, just a rotation point here for the arms, and also a rotation point right there for the pelvis part, which is quite useful if you want to make some interesting pose. Then you got a ball joint for the pelvis part, okay, so well for the legs part, then a rotation point for the knee, and finally a pelvis, excuse me, a ball joint on the feet. Right there, so it means the figures is quite well articulated because of the many ball joints and rotation points. So notice also the details on the head with the nice paint for the eyes. So the mask, in fact, here is the same as the big guy, but in a smaller version, of course. So let me just find his gun, because here these guys come with a gun, which is in trans yellow. And it's not the same gun as the Paladins guys, so it's quite nice to have a different mold. So you can make him like that, for example. I'm not really going to try to pause because I have many things to show you. So, well, just let's move on to the first transformation, the transformation of this guy, because this minifigs can also be transformed into a ball. So first, you have to move the head backward like that. Then you have to rotate all the legs here. I'm going to put the feet like that. Then I'm going to make it to put them this way. And notice the hole between the legs and the back. Well, I have now to put the hands in the arms, literally, like that, and put this part here. The same for this arm. Oh, excuse me, like that. And now my ball is complete. So, well, it's not really well finished because you have to take some time to make it perfect. But, well, that will do it for the review. Of course, it can roll. Excuse me for this little webcam problem. So, yes, as I said, it can roll like that without any problems. So that said, let's now move on to the big robot. So first is body. So you have to know that most of the skeleton parts, if I can call this like that, the frame parts are the same as the paradigms, but all the armor parts are new, are exclusive to the Templars in general. So first the body, which is the same but not this part, so like I said, which is different. Also I can talk about the color scheme, which is mostly dark gray, trans yellow, and red, plus some touch of silver, but it's really rare. So as you can see, I have this big block of a body, and then on the back I'm going to link these wings. So how it works, well, follow me. I'm going to show you how this works. Well, first, notice you have a button right there, and in this button we're going to let pass through a rubber band, a red one, as you can see. This rubber band will now pass through this wings part, which are directly linked to the body thanks to this big clip part right there, as you can see. And then the red rubber band part will be held by this red part, which is also attached to this gray part. And finally, we're going to have this wing, so this flappable wing, if I can do it like that, which will be attached right there. In fact, it will be stuck between the dark gray part and the red part. So I think to understand how this works, and that's all the wings are made. So of course here there is not any rotors like the paradigm guys, is this type of flexible soft wings. And now I just have to link the this part right there, which is in fact an ammunition for the weapon. So it will be linked thanks to those two clips right there. And of course, as you can see, we got two wings, so we got two of these parts. So it's nice to have a spare right there, of course. Now I'm going to add some armor parts. So first, well, this one, as you can see, which will be linked here. So it works like some pins and pinholes, in fact. So it's really simple to attach, and it's quite easy to understand how it works. Then this part, which is not the same, in fact, it's a little smaller than the previous one. So of course, like I said, all the armor parts are trans yellow, which is quite cool. Well, I'm really a big fan of transparent colors, so I guess it can be helped. Yes. Then I'm going to link this part on the back, so some armor parts with a rotation point. It will be linked right there. Second one. And now I'm going to link the head, but first, excuse me, I just have to put off the mask. So here's the head, as you can see. So you got a little switch on the back, and when you press it, it was supposed to light up this part, of course, but I guess the batteries well, run out of energy or something like that, because, well, it doesn't really work anymore. But when you pressed this button, you were supposed to have some lights coming out of this part. And of course, this is just the head, because now you're gonna have the mask which goes on. So one thing interesting to notice is that the Paladin's mask were hard plastic, which were linked thanks to this little hole, and here it's not the case, because the plastic here is soft plastic, and the attach point is in fact this little part, which can be compared as a belt, and which will in fact be put on the back of the model. So this means I'm going to link this part like that, then move on the part here, like that. As you can see, the mask got 3 colors, and of course you can see also that it got 2 eyes plus all right there, so of course to let the lights come through. And of course it looked, oh, maybe it light up right there, no? Well, it seems to work when it wants to, so I'm not going to push my luck too much. So well, let's just link that here. So also you can notice the rotation point, because many people at the time compared this to Bionicle, but in fact neo shifters mostly used rotation point and no ball joints at all. So it's mostly rotation point for all the articulations. And well, talking about articulations, I think it's time to move on to the arms. Well, I'm going to attach the left one. So let me just find my parts. So first, this one with 2 rotation points plus a little printed part right there, which is quite cool, and also a little hose pipe. Then I'm going to link this part like that, with once again some printed parts right there. And finally, I'm going to link the end, which comes in 2 pieces. So first this one, and then this one. As you can see, this part is different from the Paladin's counterpart, in fact, because this time it's more like closed than a regular, well, block-shaped fingers. So let me just link this part right there, like that, and here we go. You got your hands, your arm finished. It will be linked on this part on the sides. The same can be said for this part right there. Now I'm going to link the waypoint, and also I'm going to show you how this works. So here we go, this part with some pins and some holes. I'm going to take one of the waypoints. So this thing is called, if I look at the box, it's called some CW destructor. I don't really know what it's supposed to mean, but well. So I have this. I got my part. Well, I'm going to let this part like that. Of course, it's some soft plastic. Then I'm going to put this part on the weld piece like that. So that's how it looks. And now, because there is a rotation point right there, I just have to press this thing down and then let it go like that. And as you can see, when flying, the part goes like that, so it's rotate on its own center point like that. Just the last one to show you, because well, it's quite fast, so you can't really see, but well, it works. It works in a nice way, to admit. Lego also tried some things with some soft plastic projectiles, but quite failed with their squid launcher, which was really a mess. So I guess Megabloks did it right this time with their own soft plastic projectile. So it will be linked on the arm also. And then let's move on to the final part of this robot, the legs. So first, the pelvis part, which is not really new, because it's the frame part, but the armor, is different. Like that. And now the legs. So first, this part with right there, with once again an hose pipe. Then this part with a printed part. The silver part will be useful later on. And now the feet, which are made out of 4 parts. So first, this one, which is different from the Paladin guy, so it's exclusive to the Templar set. Then you got this part right there, which can be turned on 2 sides. Then this transparent part, and finally the back of the foot to make it hold like that. Then I'm going to link that here and add some armors. So first this one. So you can't really mistake because the 2 holes right there are where the space between the 2 holes is different on the 2 parts. Notice that the armors fit perfectly with the silver part, like that. Oh, and also, excuse me, just forgot, but the little guy's weapon can be put, of course, on this holes right there. And my leg is finished, like that. Now I have to link this on my pelvis part, well, of the robot, of course, quite obviously, and then the second leg, like that. Then I'm going to link the 2 parts together at this point, right there, and the final touch is that, as you can see, I've got an hole right there while it's supposed to hold the little guy, so I'm going to link it right there. And here we go. So first, well, I'm maybe going to talk about the articulation. Well, I'm going first to do a little turnaround, excuse me. Then talk about the articulations. Oh, also, I think I'm going to add some more books. It's really got an awkward pose, so sorry guys. I'm going to make him look better just after that, but first, there's the turnaround. So of this guy. And then the articulation, so like I said, it's mostly rotation points. So, well, first the legs, you got 2 rotation points on this part right there. Sometimes the armors block themselves, but not that much, so you have really a nice range of movement, I think, with this 2 rotation points. Then the little problem comes from the knee, which can be just, if I pause it, I'm just going to check something, guys, excuse me. Oh yes, no, I make these things correct. So yes, like I said, the problem with the knee right there is that it's blocked at 90 degrees, even a little less, so it's a little problem for pose. Of course, it can be turned like that. Then you got the feet, which also can be turned on the side and also up and down. And it works pretty well, in fact, because you can turn these things all the way like that or all the way up. So no big problems with the feet. Then also you have an articulation of the pelvis point, like that, so it's really nice to, it really adds to the overall pose. Then let's move on to the arms. So here on the shoulders, you got like 2 rotation points, which also allows to for some nice movement. Here the elbow part is more articulated than the knee because it can go all the way up, so no 90 degrees limitation. It's really cool and it works quite fine. And then the end can be closed or open, of course, and can be rotated, excuse me. Then the head got also 2 points of rotation on the sides and up and down, which works quite nice. This part can be turned, and while some other parts can also be moved, but that's not really some part of the articulations, I think. And that said, I'm going to transform this guy into a ball, even if there is still some problems, but well, I'm going to show you anyway. So the first thing to do is first, well, put these things off, then turn this part like that, so all the armors are lined up, then put the feet backwards like that, the same right there. Now I'm going to, so excuse me, I just have to check something to make sure I'm right on this point. I'm going to use these pins right there to link them on the pinholes here. Like that. So I will link the two legs together thanks to this weapon. Then I'm going to put the arms this way. Oh, so excuse me. Like that. Then turn this part here. I have to move down the end now, and I'm going to, in fact, use these pins right there to link them in the pinholes and link the feet and the arms together. So I just have to move these things the right way, like that, making sure that it works. Well, you have to try a little, but it in the end it will work nice. Like that. Now I'm going to put this part here, so that the transparent yellow part follows the shape. And then, well, here it's in my French review, it totally failed, but now I'm supposed to link this little red part in these silver clips from this part right there. So in the French review, it just totally failed and didn't really want to work at all. So I'm going to see how this goes in this review, but do not expect much from this thing, guys. Seems to work. No, and not so quick. So yeah, what is supposed to happen is that it's supposed to be blocked, but because of some unknown reason, sometimes it just pushed out like that, and then, well, yeah, it's quite an accomplishment. But now I just have to supposed to put the wings on the back inside the armor. So will I manage to make this thing correct? I do not really know, guys. So it's really a miracle that I happened to block this thing, because as you can see, it don't really want to be blocked. Oh, come on. So it's really sensible. So yes, I'm just going to use my hands, by the way, to put this thing like that. And here we go. The ball is finished. As you can see, it's really nice. And here we go. And so of course it's supposed to be, you can put this way. Of course, if it's quite sensible, it will totally fail, but when you're supposed to make these things roll, it can roll on the ground. And the interesting point, the use of this thing, in fact, that when you push it, it will make the wings open. But as you can see, because it's really sensible, I don't really need to push the button anymore. So that was the transformation into a ball. At least it worked better than in my French review, so I'm quite happy with that. But well, it's not that perfect, and I'm not really sure if this is just my fault or if it's just my set which lacks of quality control. But well, it's really sensible, and it's really well, you can't really transform it in a nice way. That said, I'm just going to retransform him into a robot mode, and then that will be all, guys, for this review. So yes, excuse me, just have to put these things right. So in fact, there was nothing really to talk about in the sum up. So well, first the color scheme. Well, personally, I'm really a big fan. I'm really digging the transparent colors. So of course, I'm quite enjoy with this set. But even without this point, I think the color scheme looks pretty good because you got dark color in the in the secondary color, so it's dark gray, and then you got the transfer, which is really a bright color. So it's really there's really a nice mix between the two, and really a nice contrast. Plus the red, which helps to solidify the two colors, and I think the color scheme work quite great because if you compare this color scheme to Untitled, which is the neo shifters that I reviewed last week or a week, 2 weeks ago, you will see that it got less colors, but at least it works better in my opinion, because less is the better, if you know what I mean. But the color scheme is quite good. Then you got the building, the construction itself. So, like I said, most of the frame parts are not really new because they are the same used on the Paladin guys. So nothing really new apart from the armors. But the armors, of course, got some nice new mods, and they're really cool because you got this organic feeling with the soft plastic used right there, and also the shape, which is more like some rounded shape than some blocky shape like the Paladin's guys. So really nice to have this type of armors. I really found them cool personally. Then you got the articulations, and except for the legs, which are quite poor because they block at 90 degrees, most of the other parts, even if it's just rotation points and not ball joints, really works great and really allows to some great pose. Plus the fact that unlike the Paladin's guys, which got some big rotor on the back of their wings, and so makes the weight balance hard, here, of course, the wings are quite lightweight, if I can say so, and so of course, it doesn't really prevent you to moving the model the way you want. What I mean is that the model will not fall back, because of the weight of the wings in comparison to the Paladin's guy. And overall, I think that's a great set. The only also little drawback I have with this set is maybe the mask, which look a little cheap because, well, it's made out of soft plastic plus this belt, even if it's quite useful because it's really held the mask perfectly. But I think that it still look it doesn't really look that robotic or that futuristic to have these things made this way. Well, seriously, apart from that, guys, I think Kero Tox is a great set. So, like I said, I got some problem with the transformation into a ball, so it might not happen with your set because the KT control on the neo shifters is, I have to admit it, quite bad because most of my neo shifters got some problems, and the same can be said for some of my friends. So, well, seriously, it's a little random, I have to admit, but well. As you can see, mine works quite great, and if you have some problems, you can still order some replacement parts for free from Megabloks.com. So that's all for this set, guys. So like I said, not that perfect because it still has some little problems, but overall, I think that the color scheme, the parts used, and the articulations really make it for a great set, plus with a nice overall design. And that said, that's all, guys. So hope you enjoyed this review, hope you enjoyed this set. If you have any comments or questions that I have not answered in my review, well, feel free to ask them. And that said, see you later for another video review. Bye bye!